I did a video at the end of 2024 talking about wholesaling is a war of attrition. And Google AI actually broke down saying that 80% of wholesalers will fail in their first year. Now, my feelings as to why 99% of the real estate investors and wholesalers that do fail is due to the lack of consistency that they have in their business. Now, the reason why I feel like lack of consistency is a plague amongst our industry is because of the amount of information that exists nowadays. YouTube channels like this one, programs, softwares, and now as AI becomes a larger part of our industry, that's going to become a problem. Now, these could be solutions, but the issue is the lack of buy-in to the different processes that are needed across our industry. Now, when you break down our business, it's a very simple one. Generate leads, get properties under contract, and then sell them for more money than what you got them under contract for. No matter if you're a real estate investor, a flipper, landlord, that's your objective. So it can be a simple business. Unfortunately, due to the fact that it is a simple business to get into, and just by looking at it, it feels like, hey, I can accomplish that. I think that's what also causes the failure. Because if the things don't work right off the bat, we start searching for another answer. So today, I want to talk to you about how you could be the 1% that does succeed in this industry. Now, you found your way to watching this video and watching my YouTube channel. Now, please subscribe if you're new to this channel. I appreciate each and every one of them. But you found your way here, and what I want you to do is buy in to what I'm telling you works. And you don't have to look elsewhere. Now, that being said, if you don't resonate with what I'm telling you to do, buy in somewhere in this industry. Buy in with someone that has already succeeded and then copy that inside of your business. You don't have to recreate this industry. You can literally just copy your way to success. Now, let's start off with the systems that are needed. Now, this is an area in which wholesalers specifically love to crush their businesses. RJ said that I need to comp using either PropStream, Privy, or Batch Leads. But then Jerry Norton rolled out PropWire, and then there's this, and then there's that. And so you're always using a different software or system to comp properties. Or maybe when it comes to lead generation, RJ said use Speed Lead, Property Leads, or LeadZolo. But this person over here said that I need to be running my own PPC campaigns. Or this person said I need to sell my house fast, or motivated sellers. And so you're always flip-flopping between the different lead generation systems. Lack of consistency. This also hurts you on tracking your metrics and your KPIs and knowing what is working and what isn't working. And what normally happens when we're flip-flopping from different systems to different systems is that we blame the lack of results on that specific system and not skill sets. So let's move on to the next thing that I believe really hinders this industry is the processes that you're building around the systems that you use. So for us here at Titanium, we don't ever flip-flop between systems. Very rarely do we even let a new system into our ecosystem. But when we do, we buy all in and we give it a solid runway so we can track our metrics, but then we also build our processes around that. This is why it's so important for us to say, hey, we're all in on pay per lead, the Speed to Leads, Property Leads, and LeadZolo. And we actually got rid of our virtual assistants and cold calling and pulling data and all of that. Why? Because that was just a shiny object that we were chasing over here. We narrowed down our focus and were more consistent. And what happened? Better results, which is ultimately what you should be after. But unfortunately, the majority of people in this industry are always after the next new thing that they can add, because that will be the solution to their problems. So consistency with your systems, build out your processes like the King Closers formula. That works perfect with inbound PPL leads. So our entire closing process, how we talk to sellers and how we navigate those conversations, are built around that system that we're using for lead generation. Next up, the web formula, wherein buyers buy. This is how we comp and underwrite our deals using our profit calculator. How do we actually comp our deals? How do we determine what we can and can't offer a seller for their property? That is all determined based around PropStream and Privy and Batch Leads, the systems that we use to comp and underwrite our deals. Then once we have those properties under contract, what's up next? Dispo, the Dispo formula. Now this is built around us using InvestorLift, InvestorBase, and DealSpeed, the softwares that we use for dispositions. Now, all of these processes we have been, I don't even know what the right words are, but critiquing and maneuvering to make them better over the course of time. This is not like a static thing where it's like, all right, in 2021, we developed this process and we've been using it for 4 years straight and we haven't changed anything. No, we change it based off of the results and the feedback and the metrics that we are creating for ourselves. But what we don't do is go back and change the systems that we're using. We don't go and do a wholesale change and say, well, Jerry Norton said to do this, or Pace Morby said to do that, so we're going to stop using the closers formula, or we're going to stop using the web formula to do something else. However, what I do see with wholesalers that fail is that that is a regular occurrence where we are just completely wholesale changes across our organization, and then failure follows. Why? Because there's not a buy-in to that consistency that is needed for long-term results. Now, one of the worst ways that I've seen wholesalers, specifically wholesalers, but real estate investors, fail is once they've tasted success and they start seeing it and they start running multiple six-figure months in a row and they decide they want to scale up their business. This is where I've seen people honestly be in a absolute fantastic position and then crush their businesses by stepping away and saying, I am the visionary. I don't need to be in the business. I'm going to work on the business. But unfortunately, they don't actually do that. They don't actually work on the business. They really just want to step away and have other people do the work. And it's lack of management and leadership and actually truly casting that vision amongst their organization. And that's what leads to that, what was already succeeding and working, falling apart and crumbling. So here's what I want to give you guys on how you can be the 1%. You found your way here. You obviously resonate with me to a certain degree because otherwise you wouldn't watch 8.5 minutes of this video. So I do want to give you a resource. And it's a free resource. You don't have to do anything. This is our Titanium Toolkit. This is the processes that we use, the systems that we use, and giving you breakdowns of the title companies that we use and an outline of how we feel about each market. So you've got each and every system, why we use it, the closers formula, the web formula, the market breakdown, the Dispo formula, everything that we could possibly give you for free. It's over 100 pages of information. You can get that right now at titaniumu.com/toolkit. Again, that's titaniumu.com/toolkit. You can get that for free right now. If you were to buy in on the systems and processes that are given inside of that toolkit and consistently work within those systems and processes and not chase any shiny objects, success will follow. Why? Because it's proven to, not only by us, but other Titanium University members. And just like anything in life, consistency will bear results eventually. Now, you will have to work to develop your skill sets. You're going to have to get better at asking questions and comping and underwriting and building relationships with your end buyers. But this, for free, is a massive head start on your competition, because the facts are your competitions will always be chasing that next shiny object, that next magical lead generation system, or that magical new formula where I don't have to comp and underwrite and develop skill sets to determine if this is a good deal or not. That will always be the case, and that's why the majority will always fail. Wholesaling, real estate investing is a simple business, but it will always be a massive opportunity for you because the majority are not willing to do the boring. Show up day in and day out and do the same things that are necessary to generate results and be consistent with it, because it's boring, it's mundane, and they don't truly want that. They want the new, shiny, exciting thing that they're supposed to go do, and that's what leads to their failure. So don't fall into that. Fall into the boring and the mundane and the consistency and tracking that, and fall in love with that process. Because if you do that, that is how you ultimately create your own reality. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you show me some love in this video and give me a like. And for the love of God, please go to titaniumu.com/toolkit. Get the free resource. Follow the process. Be consistent. Be boring.